How's it going, eh? Son Seb, and today I thought I'd start a new series, call it Pick and Prattle. Basically, I was looking for a catchy title for basically picking at crap and kind of just shooting the shit, talking about whatever, and tried to find some kind of cool rhymes or alliterations, and the only word I could find was prattle, which is to talk at length foolishly or inconsequentially, which I figured works. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of have a pick at some stuff and do some talking. I'm going to start out with this little Lockwood kick. Because this little piece here on the side is the actuator, which turns with the core when it opens, I'm going to need to kind of mount it here by the Bible, sort of on the bottom of the vise, so that can turn freely if I happen to get an open. First thing I'm going to talk about is my giveaway has basically tomorrow is the deadline. If you guys are watching this, you haven't got an entry in, get your entries in. I think we're at 23 or 24 people, so we're pretty close to that 30. If I could just get another, like 6 or 7 entries, we can open up that last bag. Also on that note, I know a lot of you guys like stickers. I also do enjoy the stickers, but my son was supposed to do a permanent avatar for me with like pixel art, and he hasn't gotten around to it yet, / I'm kind of picky, so what he has worked on I kind of critiqued a bit, and anyhow, so what I've got is a couple little handmade stickers. It splits there in the middle. Basically these are like return address labels that I handmade, keeping in the spirit of the homemade feel of my channel. Figured I'd go with that. But yeah, I guess the first thing I'll talk about is yesterday I was hanging out at my in-laws while my wife and her mother were doing some pickling, canning stuff. I brought a couple locks with me just to kind of kill time while they were working on that. My kids were mostly playing Roblox and watching YouTube on the computer there. But my youngest son decided he wanted to try having a pick at something. So I didn't have a lot with me. I only brought 7240 with the W25L difficult keyway. I brought the Brava that I got from Down Under Monkeys giveaway, which also has a horrible keyway, pretty similar actually to the W25L. It's a little bit different at the bottom and a bit of a different shape at the top. I also brought an old style, oh, there's one of my other cats, Spot. Apparently she's coming up for a little visit. She's the more private one. She usually doesn't get up in anybody's face, but how you doing, Spotter? Apparently she wanted to come up for a visit. Must be a little bit lonely today. And you can probably hear my dog in the background chewing on her rawhide treat. So where was I? Oh yeah, old style 234, Lockwood 234, which I haven't been able to get an open on. So it was actually 3 locks that I hadn't had any luck with, just to kind of keep me busy for the day. But I also brought, I'm not getting anywhere on that anyhow, I also brought this little baby Lockwood, which, I found not to be too bad of a pick, but a little bit tricky. It seems to maybe have a shallow spool or 2 in there, just a little 4-pinner, but it does seem to go into a bit of a false set before the open, or at least a decent bit of plug movement. So I told him I'd let him have a pick at that. I picked it once myself with his finger on the tension wrench so that he could kind of feel the feedback that you get when the core moves. He could kind of get a feel for that vibration that kind of moves up through the tensioner when you have a pin set. Then after that, I handed it over to him with the tension wrench and a couple picks. And I got distracted. I was a little bit busy doing something else. And next thing I know, he's yelling for me, "Daddy, Daddy, I got it!" So he was super excited. He was able to pick that little lockwood open, single pin picking. It's the first time that he ever got a single pin pick open. He did rake my Sparrow's cutaway when I first got it, but that's basically all he's done so far as picking goes. And the thing that actually impressed me the most was he told me how he opened it. He got clicks on all the pins. He said he wasn't really feeling much that he could push on, but didn't really know where to go from there. So he kind of did one of those with the tensioner, bounced it, and I guess something must have been a little bit overset because when he bounced the tensioner, that got the open. I think quite possibly he opened it quicker than I did the first time I opened it, and that tension bounce, I consider it's sort of an advanced technique, and I never told him anything even about that. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of him for getting that. I thought I'd share that. Maybe he'll catch the picking bug and have something else to bond over. He's kind of at that stage right now where just about everything I do is kind of something that he's interested in. We're both very interested in the Zelda series of games. We're both big Star Wars fans, but I think he kind of picked those both up for me. But I mean, I don't know, I think you're crazy if you're not a Star Wars fan. No, I'm just kidding. But really, I do love the whole Star Wars universe. Not a major fan of the sequel trilogy that's come out, but Rogue One I thought was a fantastic movie, and I did enjoy The Force Awakens. But yeah, I mean, see, my favorite character is Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, and I really love his whole story of his fall and his redemption, and I don't know, to me he's just kind of a relatable character in the way that life kind of failed him, and his anger kind of dictated some of his choices, and basically his love was what really led to his downfall. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's kind of it's a great story, and the fact that his love led to his downfall, but his love also was the catalyst that brought him back to the light. And I mean, by that being said, there's plenty of flaws in Star Wars. There's lots of stuff I like to make fun of and whatnot, but yeah, I love it. I've loved it ever since I was, before I can remember, honestly. I must have been 2 or 3 years old when I was first getting into Star Wars, and that's just kind of stuck with me. Another big thing that's hold on a second, the dog's getting into something she shouldn't be. Rhea, stop it. Get out of there. Nope. You're gonna choke on that. Chew your rawhide. That's what that's for. You're a girl. No. You're getting bored, I know. We haven't really done too much today. So yeah, another big thing that has been a part of my life is music. It's something that goes right back, way back to my childhood. Both my parents were big music fans, and I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock, the Beatles, Doors, big ones, Bob Dylan, Queen, and my dad actually used to kind of grill me. It was kind of funny. He'd be in the car, he'd have the classic rock station on, a song would pop up, and he'd be like, "Hey, who does that sound like? Listen to that guitar. Who's playing does that sound like?" And, you know, half the time I'd practically be guessing, but, you know, I'd take a shot. I don't know, is that Santana? Sometimes I'd be right, sometimes I wouldn't, but I did, eventually that kind of, I started really enjoying Eric Clapton and Cream. More Cream. Like Eric Clapton Unplugged came out, and I heard Layla. I really enjoyed that song. My dad was like, "Hey, if you like Layla, listen to this version." And he pulled out his Cream record with the original Cream version of Layla, and it blew me away. Then I did some guitar lessons. I played bass a bit, got together with some guys. We had kind of a band, but whenever we found a lead singer, he'd end up like going to juvie or whatever. We never did really end up doing anything with it, but it was a lot of fun. Then going into high school, I started playing tuba with the school band and through music class, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Cadet band, I played trumpet. I was in Air Cadets, and yeah, music's just always kind of been a big part of my life, and I love basically all kinds of music. Not a huge country and western kind of person. Just isn't something that's really resonated with me outside of Johnny Cash. Mainstays kind of 90s grunge, alt rock type stuff. Industrial. One of my favorite bands is 9 Inch Nails. Or artists, I guess I should say. Freya, leave the cat alone. Be nice. Hey! Get your toy. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Get your toy. Oh, good girl. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, 9 Inch Nails, yeah. Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails. I love his music. And, yeah, it definitely helped me get through a lot of dark times in high school and after high school. Also metal. I love metal. Prog metal, death metal. It doesn't really matter. If it resonates with me, I like it. Lamb of God's kind of one of my current favorites, but I enjoyed a lot of Pantera, Sepultura, Cradle of Filth. A little bit of Meshuggah that I've heard I enjoyed. And Max Cavalera's second band after Sepultura, Soulfly. I really enjoy that stuff as well. Another one of my big favorite bands is Tool. It's, yeah, just unlike anything else, really. The polyrhythms that they use, where they'll have like the drums and the guitar and the bass will all be playing in different time signatures, and it'll create this big ebb and flow, this patterns within patterns, and just, yeah, it's great for zoning out and kind of just taking it all in. But yeah, like I said, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I like a lot of electronic stuff, usually more experimental electronic, or like I don't know, harder electronic, I guess, like Skrillex or whatever, kind of dubstep stuff, or like dark sort of cyberwave stuff. A little bit of classical that I got exposed to through Freya. Stay out of that stuff, please. And thank you. What happened to your toy? Where'd your toy go? Where is it? You took it over to bug the cat with your toy. Is that what you did? Because I see it over there by the cat. Go get your toy. Sorry about that. Yeah, like Dvorak's Ninth Symphony was one that I really fell in love with through music class. I also grew up listening to a lot of blues, so I really like a lot of the old blues stuff, like some of the original, the really raw blues, and not so much the modern blues, pop rock type stuff, but I mean, can't go wrong listening to some Stevie Ray Vaughan or something. Yeah, I enjoy some jazz. I enjoy just about anything, like I said. Hip hop's another one that I haven't personally gotten huge into. I appreciate Eminem, just the, I don't know, lyrics of Eminem, his rhymes, the way that he can string just crazy multisyllabic rhymes together and still have everything make sense. Not a big fan of the artists who just say words wrong and count that as a rhyme. I don't really get how that's rhyming, but you know, whatever. There's when it comes to hip hop, I mean, I mostly stick with like, I mean, 90s was my teenage years, so that's the stuff that, you know, sticks with me. I was reading an article one time that the music that you listen to, I forget what the ages were. It was a little different for boys and girls typically, but basically it was the teenage years. I think it was age 12 to 20 or something like that, for in that range, basically for both, when, you know, your emotions are kind of flying off the rail, and the stuff that you hear then, everything's just heightened, and you can relate to it so much more, and that's kind of what you stick with for ever as the significant music to you. But, you know, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Tupac, Wu-Tang, that kind of stuff is kind of, if I'm going to be listening to some hip-hop, that's usually what I want to listen to. But I did enjoy some of, not even sure how you say his name, XXXTentacion. Some of his stuff was pretty, I don't know, raw and real. I was really hoping to get an open on this so that I could gut it here. I'm curious to see what's in it. I did get an open on it once. Feels like there's some spools, maybe some, I don't know, some serrations or something. Maybe a threaded chamber? I don't know. I can't quite tell what I'm working with on this. But Down Under Monkey keeps telling me I'll get a kick out of the internals. Pun intended. So yeah, yeah, just to kind of fill you in on a couple things that are sort of big deals in my life. And yeah, have a pick at this. Not getting it open, it seems, unless I can get it in the last minute here. I already tried doing this video once. It ended up being a half-hour long, split into 2 parts. YouTube wouldn't take it. It was just a friggin' nightmare. I got pissed off. But here I am, doing it again. And guess what? First time I did it, 0 opens too. So, I don't know. Doesn't seem like my day for picking. Probably if I shut my yap and actually paid attention, I could get an open. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to yap away. So, alright. You know what? I'm gonna have to probably call it quits on this, since I really don't have much else to say other than I love Star Wars and I love music. So let me know if you have any like movie series that you're a big fan of. I'm also a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but I mean, the books were just so much better than the movies. I would consider myself more of a Lord of the Rings book fan than the Lord of the Rings movies fan. but they're both fantastic in their own right. Another great story, good versus evil, and I think kind of one of the main parts of that story, in my opinion, is the story again of love. It was the love between the hobbits and various characters, but especially between Frodo and Sam, that really let the good guys win in that movie. If it wasn't for Sam, Frodo never would have made it. If it wasn't for, Frodo and Bilbo's mercy on Gollum, the ring never would have been destroyed. Sorry if you haven't seen the movies, but fuck, you should have by now. But yeah, let me know any movies like that if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you're a big fan of any other movie series. If you are also a music lover, what kind of music you like, and yeah, I'm interested to hear what you guys are all about as well. And yeah, feel free to use the Pick and Prattle hashtag if you want. I'm not planning on making it like an exclusive series or anything. It's just something I kind of want to do to sort of share a little bit about myself and maybe my opinions, I guess, and whatever. But I mean, if you guys just want to see somebody pick open a lock, there's plenty of channels for that. My channel's more to give my input on random bullshit and share my journey with you. So yeah, anyways, throwing in the towel. That's all I got to say for today. Have a good one.